Hello, my man. It's Jesse again. How are you feeling? I want to talk to you about something that's very near and dear to me, and that is physical health. And I haven't discussed it or talked about it in a way where, well, I haven't really talked about it a lot at all. I mean, I've talked about my experience as a former marathoner runner, and when I talked about that, I talked about what I was able to get from that experience, all of those experiences really, as a guy, as somebody that was trying to get grip on my physical health, all the while trying to figure out how to properly nourish my body. And I'm not saying eat, nourish is the word. We come to eat way too often, but we fail to nourish. And why that's important for you to put it like that is because every word that you speak to, everything that you put out in the world as far as verbally puts out a vibration, your body hears it. So when you nourish with food, you do way more than eat. Eat is just holding space for what you really do with food. All right, so let's do a dive into this, shall we? Okay, this video is going to be dedicated to physical health, men's physical health. I started back in 2000 really, running. And I quickly found that I had the ability to do this, and not only that, I just what I did was I showed myself how fun it was to compete with myself because I wasn't great at. I mean, my brother and I played a lot of like street hockey, and we played sports when we were kids, and we played with our buddies and kids in the community that were all in the organized sports. So as a bit of a practice, and what we did was when we played with them, we got better, and sometimes we were actually our skills were a little more advanced than theirs because they showed us how to play without us having to, well, for one, my parents having to spend the money to do organized sports, and for two, it was just really something that was a bit of a treat for us to that kept us that that kept us sane, that kept us active. So as I got older, I really we didn't play as much in the yard as far as sports went, as far as and our friends grew as well, and they did things and they went on with their lives. So I really didn't have too much. When I started at university, I started doing this 8 kilometer trail. Now, when I did that, I ran alongside the ocean and I really enjoyed it. And what it brought to me was this refreshing experience. And the feeling that I felt after having breathed and having just done this, it was great. So fast forward several years later, one of my friends says, "What are you doing for your first half marathon?" And I went, "What do you mean?" So I started training, watching a couple of YouTube videos, doing some things, and discovered that I was actually this felt good. I was good at this. And I remember my first half marathon having done this. It was a really great experience having done it because one of my friends said, "Welcome to the addiction." And I went, "What do you mean?" He said, "Once you do one, you do many more." And I did. I did. That year, I maxed out on, I think, 10 races. So I had one race for almost every month of the year. It was crazy wild. But what I learned with all that was how to properly nourish my body because I got into this space where every run that I did, even when I tapered up and tapered down, I learned how to nourish my body. And some of the big faux pas that you do, that you pull, is when you're learning this stuff, is you eat a lot of, you eat a lot of pasta, because there's this whole carb up cycle thing that happens when you do a race. You got to carb up, and I personally believe that's BS, because when you do a great taper, or when you gradually work your training to a point of incorporating more miles or more steps or whatever it is, you also incur more calories to do that. You need more calories to do that. So you will gradually work your way up to that point as well. When you dump a whole bunch of carbs into your system, it's not fair. It's not fun, and it doesn't feel good on your system to do that. So I learned all that. But that was through experience. And I have there are so many races that I did that I don't remember specifically each one, because some of them blended together. There's 39, by the way. 39 marathons and half marathons, and that's well over 7,000 miles of training. So that's well more than 10,000 kilometers of training as it goes. Why I want to talk about this as it pertains to physical health is, you don't need to do a race. Holy cow. You don't need to do huge things like that in order to get going, in order to get far enough in your health. You can do each day a bit of me time. You can do, and in that me time, you set out a number of reps when it comes to a specific workout. So you can do 25 push-ups, you can do 25 planks, you can do 25 lunges, and then you can do on top of that maybe 50 jumping jacks. And then maybe do like a little soft or whatever you want meditation, little breath work after that. And if you don't know what that is yet, or a little yoga, figure it out, because it's actually kind of fun. It's not kind of fun, it's really fun. It's really fun to be able to do a little bit of breath work with some meditation. And that's what I find has worked for me. So coming down from all these races and to be able to do something that's not quite as taxing on the body, because what you do is, when you do a lot of racing like that, you incur a lot of scar tissue, and the scar tissue, you incur a lot of calcification and crystallization in the body. And that only makes for a lot of pain points that I see in a lot of my clients. Now, that aside for a moment, again, you don't need to do a lot of kilometers. You don't need to do a lot of big races. And I'm not discouraging you if that's your thing. Like, go out and do it. Go out and do it. But don't go crazy like I did. Or do. Like, figure it out. But I would advise you to, if you're having difficulty with your physical health overall, to try something. And if you're having a problem committing to yourself, man, look deeper. Why won't you commit to yourself? You don't commit to yourself because you don't feel like you add value. You don't feel like you're worth it. And you've really not had anyone tell you how awesome you are to a point where you where it met your expectation. They haven't told you in a way that it was meaningful to you. So I'm here to tell you, let yourself off the hook. Give yourself permission to forgive yourself on that. Start doing something consistent. Just start. Physical health is so important, especially these days, because there is so many things that we eat, that we consume, that we think about, that affect this body right here, my man. This body is affected by what you think, what you eat, what you listen to, what you read, whom you talk to, where you hang out, the books that you read, all of that. And I want to see you successful. I want you to do that. Do I believe I'm successful? Yeah, I do. I do. And I'm beaming because I show up for myself every day, and then every day I learn something a little bit more, and I get passionate about bringing something through these videos so that you can watch and enjoy. Your physical health is so important because it's important to help your mental health as well. Every little action in your body needs it. Your body needs to be able to move because it actually helps strengthen the cartilage, the bones, the calcium in there. When you don't move and you're sitting behind a computer screen all the time, it's actually causing you detriment because you're causing yourself inflammation by doing it for long periods of time throughout the day. You are also not moving as much. So when you're not moving as much, you will not be making all those little movements. And when you don't move around. When you don't move around, my man, you're not reaping the benefits of the pharmacy that's in your body. And the pharmacy that's in your body is your body starts shooting off all these little chemicals that are in your body, all these little nutrition points that are medicine within your body. So every little movement, your body is secreting not only hormones, but little bits of medicine, little bits of things that actually help maintain this entire frame. And I want you to start investing in what that is. In this frame, this is the best asset that you will ever own. The best asset that you will ever own. You're in. This meat suit right here is so valuable. Because if you don't have your health, you won't have any wealth. Forget about going out there to work. You're not going to be able to be out there to have long enough to have any energy to do it. Let alone stay in shape to be able to create that income for yourself. And that income, by the way, is just money. Excuse me, that income is energy. So the energy that you need to have to be able to bring that energy in has to be just as much or greater. All right. So I've said enough. I will most likely have another video when it comes to this and other specific areas on physical health, because your physical health is so important, just like mine. All right. Now, my suggestion is if you are a marathon runner or you are somebody that is having issues with this, I would like to help you with this. And you're going to go to thevaliantlifestyle.com and click on my calendar where it says 30-minute discovery call and pick a time. Pick a time in there and we will do either a Zoom call or I'll call you. I'll call you personally and we're going to work out a plan for you to nourish your body, create a consistent workout, a little plan for yourself so that you can show yourself success. All right, thevaliantlifestyle.com. Let's do a 30-minute discovery call and let's figure out how to do this for you. All right, my man, I've said enough. Thank you for watching. Let's do this.